Here we are, Sam Rayburn, stop number 1 of the Bassmaster Open Series. I think this year is going to be a good year. We got Sam Rayburn, Kentucky Lake, Norfolk, and then Leech, and then top 50 in points moves us to the elite qualifiers, which is Champlain, Okeechobee, and Pickwick Lake. So our goal is just to stay consistent with points and just try to move on from there. It's about mid-February, and I believe the bass are biting. Today will be day 2 of practice. Logan didn't get here till last night. So we found some fish yesterday, and we got on some donkeys at the end of the day. I found 2 major schools, and I was throwing that deep plug through there. So hopefully we can keep those fish where they are, and then maybe try to find a couple more schools the rest of practice, because that's going to be the deal to win. I'm sure it's going to take up 25, 26, 27 pounds a day to try to win this thing, because these boys are going to catch them. It took 41 pounds for 5 fish to win 2 days ago. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. So let's get this boat in the water and go catch some fish. Just came out here in the middle of Coleman and just started minnowing around, and basically back to back I caught that one. I just caught one earlier, and then came out here and found another one just cruising out here, threw my minnow out there, and boom, he goes. Oh, I love bass fishing. Dual flip. That is a decent one. Nothing big by any means, but it's the first decent fish I've seen other than that one that chased that crankbait down there. So a little midday update for you guys. We are down here kind of by the dam. Not a lot of activity down here. In pre-practice, there was a ton of big fish roaming up high, and there's a bunch of bait. Now there's not a lot of bait, not a lot of fish roaming. But I'm just going to keep on working this. We're going to go check one more timber hole, and then if this region is not active, we're going to go back up to where we fished yesterday, and then put some time in just scanning every single thing we can up there, because if we can get 5 or 6 of those schools, we'll be sitting right. And another one. That's a little bit better of a fish. He's not big by any means, but another one. You just go, boom. And then all of a sudden your bait disappears, and all of a sudden you just see a big blob. And you're like, should probably quit burning them. All right, so checked one of the 2 schools that we had, and they were still there. But there was a bait ball that had pulled them off, and they were feeding on that. So it made it a little bit more difficult to catch them. But we kind of ran onto the south side of the lake now, and we found another group of them. Nothing crazy, and it's going to be an interesting tournament to see how this one plays out, because everybody's basically doing the same thing of throwing a minnow and a Nico rig at some of these fish that are floating up high or in that mid-range depth. And obviously this lake has plenty of fish to catch, and it's going to be a fun day for a lot of guys, but catching that 4+ pound class fish is extremely hard. Not an easy task. They're definitely in here. Obviously it's Sam Rayburn, but it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out. All right. So the plan is to see if these fish, if it's a morning deal. So we're gonna go do that. And then other than that, we're just gonna scan, and then do a little bit more scanning. And that's basically it, just dialing it in. This Harvey or Cedar Creek, whatever it is seems to be the most active area for me. So we're just gonna go in there and find out every little place that a bass could go and just make sure we're prepped up for Derby Day. Small guy. White bass, maybe. Yeah. A white bass on a Nico rig. I wouldn't have guessed that. No, that was a, never got a hook in him, but that was a big one. Push up, ding dong. Well, it's green. It ain't big, but it is green. So today is our off day and we are headed to the boat check where we get our boat gone through, making sure that we only have one live scope transducer and less than 55 inches of screen. And then we get some pictures taken, and then we have to come back to the house, and we got Jacob cooking up a nice breakfast, some bacon and eggs and some biscuits and gravy. And then we're gonna kind of hang out there for a while, and then we got to go back into town at 2 o'clock for the tournament pre-meeting, where we'll go over all the rules and all that fun stuff. And hopefully this is the first one of the year, and all the rest will be online, so we don't have to do this every single tournament. But off days are normally pretty chillax, but this one's kind of busy, so come tag along and see how it goes down. Got here at 9 o'clock and there was a line, a huge line going out in the road, but we are working our way up and we've been sitting here for 25 minutes. So I think, hopefully, like I said, this is gonna be the first and last we have to do this, and we can get in and out and get back to the house and get some breakfast, because I'm hungry. All right, so that is a wrap for tournament meeting, check-in, our off day. We got it all finalized. We are locked in. We are boat 83 doing at 3:40 tomorrow. We've got a lot of wind and fronts coming in, so I don't know if we're gonna fish the tournament tomorrow. They might put it off till Friday, or they might even cancel it as a whole. We don't know. The only thing I do know is I'm excited to get out there and try to catch some fish. They are biting, especially with so much pressure change and fronts coming through. That means these fish are more willing to bite. They're actively trying to look for bait. Other than that, we are headed back to the house. We got about a 30-minute drive. Head in there, rig up some poles and some crickets, and then grab some dinner, and then basically call it a night. Try to get in bed a little bit earlier than normal. So that is the game plan, but This is going to be a fun one. If the tournament happens, there's going to be a lot of fish catching, so you guys keep tuned.
It's whatever. Look at you doing a little tungsten finesse. Is that tungsten?
Yeah.
The Beast Coast. Is that a half or 3/4?
That is a 3/4.
Good?
Yeah.
Teamwork. Just don't let them tie your stuff anymore.
No, can't let that happen.
You mess up a knot.
No.
That's a lot of chartreuse powder blue.
To be honest, I would rather him retie that himself. That way, if for some reason he does break
It's
his
gonna
jig
be
off,
your fault.
It's not going to be my
Yeah.
fault.
Brock said he didn't want him to tie it. He's gonna untie it just so he knows it's
Yeah,
done right.
never tie another man's knot.
No.
Red Baron? What do we got? Red Baron?
We got
What?
Red Baron. We got Craven. I don't know.
Sponsors. So.
Let's hear about it. Why would you use this thing tomorrow?
Because it works.
Because it works, and I know the second that I throw it over a school of a giant bass, the biggest bastard out of the entire group's going to come up and go,
Old Jaquise down there is like,
Yeah, I'm sure the guy that made that's really smart and thought of all that stuff, right?
no. All right, here we are. Day number 1. Sam Rayburn starts tomorrow, and this has been a tournament that I've been looking forward to for a majority of my life. Bassmaster's always where it's been. This is where bass fishing lives, and I'm really excited to get out there on the water tomorrow and compete against these level of guys. This tournament has the best anglers in the world, and I will argue to say that the Opens is one of the toughest tournaments to compete in. But I'm extremely excited to get out there, go put to test what we found in practice, go try to compete with these guys, because we're looking at the end of the year to in the top 50 and make it to those elite qualifiers, and then eventually try to hopefully make it to the elites.
Let's go get him.
Let's go get them.